Over the past 15 years of serving you to become more than anxiety, much, much more, there have been some crucial lessons along the way. And I want to share with you those lessons today so that we can take another massive step forward in our recovery journey. Let's dive in. Welcome, my peaceful warriors. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do subscribe, hit the bell for all the notifications, because I don't want you to miss a piece of content. Secondly, if you want to learn more about any of my powerful anxiety recovery programs where I take you by the hand each and every day, click here at any point in the video. It's been 15 years of serving you, 15 years of connecting to your stories, 15 years of tapping into my own innate wisdom in order to provide the right piece of information, knowledge, wisdom to you to become more than anxiety. And along those 15 years, there have been lessons that I want to share with you right now. The first lesson has been that anxiety is background apprehensiveness. Anxiety is background apprehensiveness. When I share with you the idea that what you're dealing with is background apprehensiveness, how does that change what it is you're trying to change? Well, you're no longer looking at it as anxiety, because if you look at it as anxiety, what tends to happen is there's always more of it coming around. If you see it as background apprehensiveness, you can finally tap into the fact that you have unknowingly created this background alarm going on all day, every day, and you can begin to work with it. It's something that you have power over, because often anxiety makes us feel powerless. Ooh. We need to begin to feel like we can do this on our own. And that doesn't mean that you must not ever get support from anybody or anything from the outside. That just means that that power within you is coming back, because you are now realizing that if you have unknowingly created this background apprehensiveness that follows you every single moment of the day, you can also turn the switch off. But first we must turn the dial down in order to turn the switch off. Turning the dial down means that when a component of this background apprehensiveness shows up, that means a bodily symptom. That means an idea that floats into your mind. That means stories coming from other people. That means all these components of the background apprehensiveness. You can go, I know where this is coming from, because it's kind of like a car that has an alarm system in it that tends to go off even when the wind picks up. That's your nervous system. And knowing this, we can understand that the alarm itself doesn't signify any kind of physical danger or future danger. It just means, look at me. It just means, acknowledge me. It just means, can we begin to start reversing this background apprehensiveness? And the answer is always being given. No matter what, your response, rather than your frantic reaction, tells the background apprehensiveness whether the environment is safe or not. Whether your past is still playing a part in your present or not. You are always answering this background apprehensiveness whether you know it or not. The second lesson out of these 15 years has been that the stories that we give priority to in the mind, will determine how sensitized the body is to outer events. So when an idea crosses the mind, if we begin to become emotionally charged by that idea, if we continue to allow that idea to take up all our focus from what we were doing to what we must do based on this idea, then the idea starts to become stronger and stronger, but not just as a future connected idea. It means that it will become stronger in your body because the idea is connected to the body. And if we can look at a frantic and dangerous idea from the perspective of understanding that it is connected to our background apprehensiveness, oh, there it is, then there's no emotional charge behind it. If there's no emotional charge behind it, there's no action that connects to it. If there's no action that connects to this anxiety, this background apprehensiveness, then what happens is we begin to signify to the body that there's no reason for these symptom sensations anymore. So the stories are very, very important. The stories that we give priority to, because a frantic idea can either be one story or another. For example, a symptom, and you're going, oh my God, could this symptom be connected to some kind of a physical structural problem? And if it is, and I don't catch it early enough, will I die sooner than I have chosen to? That's one story. And that can take you down one rabbit hole, right? And if you go down that rabbit hole, then you're going to find that the symptoms connect to more symptoms and there's more franticness going on in the body. Or this idea can still show up in your mind and you can go, I have recognized the patterns around this idea. I now realize that this background apprehensiveness that is trying to get my attention in order to keep me safe in this world that feels unsafe to it, I can change the story. I've recognized the pattern. I know where this is coming from, and I give myself permission to leave this alone. It may continue to show up in my body, it may continue to show up in my mind, but I give myself permission to leave this alone. And as I leave it alone, my focus turns on to what's taking place in the present moment. And as that happens, I am taking a massive leap forward, back into my true nature. This background apprehensiveness takes us so far away from our true nature and our authenticness that we don't even realize that within us still lays the foundation of our playfulness, of our love, our intuition. It's within you. There's nothing you're creating here. There's nothing you're moving towards. All you're doing is basically taking apart the layers of fear in mind and body that have prevented you from reconnecting to what's been within you all this time. You're not creating anything. You're not moving towards anything. You're just removing the layers. The third lesson that I've learned over these past 15 years is that it is possible, my friends. It is possible to bring balance back to the mind and body. It is possible. Some days it may feel like it's impossible. But listen to me, it is possible. When you have a new attitude that says this is the background apprehensiveness, you start to pick up on patterns. As you pick up on patterns, you become less frantic around those patterns. There's a new attitude that grows within you that says, I can build a relationship with what it is I've feared for so long. And as I build that relationship, I tend to find more compassion and love for myself, because anxiety is a lack of love. Anxiety is a lack of empathy towards the part of you that still fears. But when the empathy starts to come back, when the love starts to come back, you start to go, I hear you, inner child. I acknowledge you. I hear you. And trust me, I can take you by the hand right now and I can bring you to a place that we have not acknowledged for a long time, a place of safety and peace. I will take you by the hand. So a new attitude can bring us back to balance in mind and body. Understand that. Also, through awareness rather than reactiveness, right? So you can be aware of something without being reactive to that thing. That's where surrender sessions come in on a daily basis for you. You can be aware of something without reacting to it or reacting in line with it. This is powerful because now you're becoming the witness of things, the observer of things, and not so much the reactor of things. We live in a modern world where everybody is always reactive to some kind of stimuli, right? Something that's going on. And there's always a fear of missing out, FOMO. If I don't go on social media, I'm going to miss out on the latest election, the latest thing, the latest political news, the latest thing that my favorite athlete's going through, the latest thing based on these celebrities. It's all garbage. It's all trying to keep you in a state of franticness. Because when you're in a state of franticness, you're getting farther and farther away from your true nature, which is peaceful, joyful, and self-loving. This modern world doesn't want you to find solutions. This modern world wants to keep you fixated on symptoms. And as long as you stay fixated on symptoms, there's always going to be another challenge to go through. But aren't you tired of being challenged? My friends, that's where these lessons come in. That's where my programs, the YouTube videos, these sorts of things come in, because we're not dealing with symptoms here. We're dealing with root causes. These are the lessons that I've come in contact with over the last 15 years of loyally and gratefully serving you each and every day. And I will continue to be there for you. And now I want to be there for you based on your biggest, more than anxiety moment from this video. It's time for you to share a comment below and a like if this video spoke to you. Share a comment below on what your more than anxiety moment was, and if you have any questions for me, because I'm here right now and I'm going to look to answer as many questions as I can from the comments section. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Keep going, and remember that you are more than anxiety. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.